Ladies and gentlemen, ever since the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, whenever Nintendo Switch 2 news is coming up, we have no idea if this is going to be amazing news or maybe some of the worst news we've ever heard, because it seems like it's either one or the other extreme. But in today's video, we're going to go over a bunch of new Nintendo Switch 2 games that are being confirmed, that are leaking, that are coming out, and this just makes me so much more excited for the Nintendo Switch 2. So let's go ahead and get right into this video. So if you did not know, I am on vacation, and I have been on vacation, and the crazy thing is, even though it pains me to say it, I won't be home to April 10th, so I was going to have to pre-order the Switch 2 online. I don't really want to do it that way. I want to do it in person. So, I mean, hey, I'm not saying anything, but it was delayed, and it's all perfect timing for me. Now that that horrible confession, I think, is out of the way, we have some very exciting news. Maybe you thought the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was a little underwhelming, or maybe you wanted to see some other games. Don't worry. We're going to talk about a bunch of games coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. Some leaks, some rumors, and some just straight up announced. So before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would truly mean the world to me. And let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So for the past year, I've been wanting to make a video about what I think are the 10 most important Nintendo games of all time. Maybe not the best or the greatest or even the most popular, but just the 10 Nintendo games that I think are most important. And there's one game in that list that I wasn't sure if I was going to put it on there, but now it's like solidified in my mind. To be honest, I really thought I had made this video already, but I went and looked and I don't think I have. So it's something I'm probably going to make here in the next few weeks. One of the most important Nintendo games of all time, at least in my opinion, is Nintendogs. If you did not grow up with a DS, you probably do not care. There's a good chance you know what it is, and there's a good chance you're going to be reacquainted with it or maybe introduced for the first time on the Nintendo Switch 2. So Nintendo recently filed a new trademark for Nintendogs, and I actually seen this. I might have talked about this in a video last week when I was talking about new trademarks. But yeah, I seen the new Nintendogs trademark and I was thinking, this might be the perfect time. For a couple of reasons. One, I think Nintendogs is I think it's really fun, and I think there's so much more stuff they could do with it. Like with modern hardware and all the new features, and we know there's a microphone built into the Nintendo Switch 2. This is perfect for Nintendogs. And we also have, I actually have it on in the background right now, like the voice chat feature for the Nintendo Switch 2. So I could be playing Nintendogs up here, you guys could be playing Nintendogs down here, and all of us could be in uniform shouting at our Nintendo Switch 2s to like control our dogs or whatever. I just think it's perfect timing. It makes a perfect sense. I'm like certain Nintendogs is coming back to Nintendo Switch 2. Let's get something like solidified out of the way. Let's get something factual out of the way. Real Nintendo Switch 2 games before we get into some Switch 2 game leaks. We have this article right here saying another Switch 2 launch title possibly confirmed. And I actually want to piggyback off that. I think there's going to be quite a bit more Switch 2 launch games than what was just talked about. Like we've seen the third-party stuff in the Direct, and we also seen some first-party stuff from Nintendo. I think there's going to be other stuff like that launches for the Nintendo Switch 2 day one. Maybe it has not been announced yet, but I have a strong feeling that there's going to be like another 20 solid games that are coming day one. But that's besides the point. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster will be part of the Nintendo Switch 2 launch game lineup, according to one newly emerged retailing listing. The same source suggests that the remaster bundle won't be priced anywhere close to $80, which appears to be the new ceiling for some Switch 2 titles. This is such a dumbass take. I think there's 2 games that are $80 for the Switch 2. I could be wrong, so maybe it's not a dumbass take, but I think it's Mario Kart, and I think it might be Tears of the Kingdom. It's like Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch was $70. So a Switch 2 version, it's going to be $80. And then Mario Kart, it is what it is. I think it's kind of fairly priced. I don't want to pay $80. I'm not going to pay $80. I can't afford to pay $80. But I think a lot of stuff is going into Mario Kart, and I think if you're going to pay $80 for a game, well, you might as well get 500 hours out of it. I would rather it be $60, but I think $80, it is what it is. So when they're saying this is the ceiling, this is going to be the price for Switch 2 games. No, it's not going to be the price for Nintendo Switch 2 games. It'll probably happen once or twice a year, and then everything else would be $70. This is really exciting news because I wanted to pick this up for the Switch, but I heard there was like motion blur or some kind of frame rate issue that was making people like kind of nauseous or something. And they were saying like the Switch, even though it runs it perfectly fine, it would do better with better frame rates or something like that. So I'm glad I didn't pick it up, and I'm glad that it's coming to Nintendo Switch 2. This is really exciting. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD Remaster, an actual game cart, will release physically for the Nintendo Switch 2 on June 5th, and this is $35. This is a day one pickup for me. That price is incredible. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some Switch 2 game leaks, because we have some, and they're so exciting, and I think it's all going to happen. And again, I think some of these are probably going to show up day one on the Nintendo Switch 2. We have this post coming from Nash Tweedle, and I want to say something about Nash Tweedle. They said like 5 months ago maybe that Elden Ring was getting a Switch 2 port and it might be a launch game. They were the first people to say that, the only people I think that said that, and now we know that is true. I don't know if it's a launch game, but we do know it is a Nintendo Switch 2 game, and yeah, I want to say shout out to them. But we have a leak express right here. Rare's returning to Nintendo with Sea of Thieves for the Switch 2. I don't know why I'm reading this in Spanish. I can speak Spanish pretty decent, but let me translate this because I might have just got that wrong. Rare returns to Nintendo with Sea of Thieves on Switch 2, and this will be announced this year. Other games that will arrive are Psychonauts 2, Doom the Dark Ages, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Ninja Gaiden 4, I don't even know how to say this, I always say this game, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Call of Duty 6, and Age of Empires 2. Is Rare a part of any of these games, or maybe just Sea of Thieves? I have no idea. I have no idea at all, and I should know. Regardless, I think the bigger thing is this is all Xbox games, I believe. I was so surprised in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct not seeing Microsoft there. And I think before the Switch 2 comes out, I think right now the release date is June 5th. I'm going to say the end of May, maybe the middle of May, we will have another Nintendo Direct with even more games being announced. And that's where I think Microsoft will finally show up. Maybe they're getting some ports ready, maybe they needed to get some dev kits or what have you. But yeah, I think Microsoft is definitely going to be a big part of the Switch 2 launch. Sea of Thieves is a really cool game. I tried playing it. I might have played it for like a day or two. I couldn't get into it. Like, I thought it was fun, but I got lost. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I think it might have the best looking water in any video game of all time. So that would be really cool to see. Doom the Dark Ages, I already assumed that was going to be on the Switch 2, especially with how good the ports run on the Switch. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. This is one of my most anticipated games pretty much of all time, or at least in recent memory. I was going to pick it up for the PS5 because I think it comes out April 15th or some time around there. But if this is coming to the Nintendo Switch 2, which it was rumored to be coming to, if this is a launch game, oh my god, I would love to play this game handheld. I would love to play a majority of these games handheld. Hell, I love playing all my games handheld. So yeah, if you're a little underwhelmed with a Nintendo Switch 2 Direct, well, don't worry. There's a bunch of games coming to this console, and I would bet maybe half of them are going to be launch games, at least the ones we talked about today. But as always, let me know what you guys think about this because your opinion matters most. And if you made it to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe, follow your boy on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the community growing. And you guys know me, I will see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.